Hello, everyone. This is Carla from Rehan Allawala's World of Connections. And today I have the honor of speaking to Ruchhita Kazaria, who is an author and actually a very interesting woman, but I don't know much about her. We'll find out. I believe she's married. She may not be. She may be completely different from what I think she is, but we'll find out. And I want to remind you that this show is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. Ruchita, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Carla. Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you, Rehan, for sponsoring this wonderful peace session. It means a lot today when the world is undergoing so much of vitriolic hatred and turmoil. Endeavors like these really mean a lot, and they go a long way to promote peace, to promote brotherhood, and to set out the correct message in the universe. So, many thanks to you, Rehan. At the outset, I wanted to say that I believe in the concept of souls, and I believe in the concept of soul blueprints and soul pools. So I'm sure, Carla, that, amidst zillions and trillions of people that we have in the universe, that I'm speaking to, that I'm having the honor to speak to, I'm sure that somewhere in our soul pool, we've known each other in some previous lifetime. This is what I believe.
I totally agree. Go
Yeah.
on.
So this is what I am, and I'm essentially a simple, no-nonsense person. We've been working on India-Pakistan peace endeavors with the movement called Aman Ki Asha, under the direction and the able guidance of Veena Sarwar. And I really admire the woman like I admire you. And she's greatly inspirational. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to speak to her, Carla.
Not yet.
Not yet. You should speak to her. She's greatly influential and deeply impressive. So,
Okay.
well, you were saying that maybe as a conjecture, maybe I'm married, but I'm not married, and I don't believe in the institution of marriage because I think it's completely orchestrated, and I believe it to be absolutely superficial, and I don't see myself getting married because I find it very, very fake. Because I believe that human beings belong to the animal kingdom, and by belonging to the animal kingdom, human beings are designed to be polygamous in nature. And polygamy and marriage don't go hand in hand because you're bound by religion, you're bound by these artificial certificates, and life becomes very puzzled. In a way, it becomes very trite. You're having to observe a lot of formalities. So marriage being an artificial construct has never been alluring to me. So I don't succumb to the institution of getting married.
Oh, how interesting. Um, do you live with your family or who do you live
Yeah,
with?
I live with my parents, with my mom and my dad, my grandmother's memories, and the memories of my pet kitten Daffodil.
Who is that? Oh, your cat.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with your cat or how did you?
See, I got the cat from my college. Basically, my cat had fractured her limb, and the security guard gave me the cat and asked me to take care of it. So once the cat was being nursed back to good health, we named her Daffodil. It was a female cat. And by the time I got her, she was hardly 4 months old. She stayed with us for 2 years before she disappeared one day. Maybe she didn't like me that much. Like Krishna likes you, maybe Daffodil didn't like me so much.
What makes you think she didn't like you? Did you
Because
live in the house? Was
because
she
she
a
just
house cat or was she a An outdoor cat.
It was an outdoor cat.
Ah, that could
Mm,
do it. So tell me more about your cat. Have you had pets all your life, or was this?
no, this was my first claimable pet that I would have said that this belongs to me because as human beings, we are essentially hunters and gatherers, and then we get rooted in possessions, and then we believe that this house belongs to me, and that factory land belongs to me, and that bed belongs to me. So this idea of ownership comes into being. This is the flaw of being a human being. So even with the cat, this sense of ownership came along that this is my cat. And I'm sure that the cat must be thinking that she's a foolish woman. She thinks she owns me, so I better defy and I run away. And that's exactly what happened to me. So it made me wiser.
Ah, what did you study? I know that you're working. When did you graduate school?
I graduated college in 2003. I was doing my literature in English
Okay, what made you decide to study English literature?
because my grades were terribly awful and no other school would have taken me. So this was the only choice that I had.
So, did you go to school in? I know you're from Kolkata. Where is Kolkata in India? Is it near Delhi? Is it near Mumbai, Calcutta?
No, not exactly, not exactly. It's in East India, and it's pretty much underdeveloped. When we compare it with a Bombay, a Mumbai, or a Delhi, we get the feel that we are simple people here. It's like a hamlet, like a glorified village here. So you have basic amenities in place, etc., etc. But you don't have that kind of a vibe. Calcutta at one point of time was known for its revolutionaries, for its intelligentsia. That intelligentsia, those revolutionaries, that temperament, that intellectual setting and ambience has all faded away. So it's quite sad living here. Though we are not originally from Calcutta, we belong to Rajasthan. In case I were to trace my roots.
Rajasthan, it's beautiful. I have been there.
You've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. When was that?
In 2007.
Wonderful. We should go there together.
Maybe we will someday.
100%. We should. I'll make a plan once this COVID is over.
Are you near Raj? Are you living in Rajasthan now?
No, I've never lived there. We have our ancestral properties there, but I've never lived there. We've been there for a couple of days and come back more like a vacation. But I've never lived there.
So, Kolkata, where is that in India?
So Kolkata is, like I told you, it's in the east of India. It's eastern India. It's near places like Darjeeling, which is a hill station, very popular.
And what does your father do?
My father, as on today, is a retired man because he's 70 plus, and he stays home. More so with the COVID impact, the elderly are meant to be home because
Yeah.
India is being grossly mismanaged as far as the COVID is concerned. And my city is even worse. So it's better that my mom and dad stay home. So both of them are just at home, doing nothing much.
So, how do you do the shopping? Do you know
I
how
send
to
myself.
shop, or do you have things delivered?
Well, we have things delivered, but I'm been going to office every day
And what kind of
because I'm into advertising for a living.
Okay, so what kind of advertising? Tell me about what you
So
do for a living.
basically, it is basically print communication. It's about web communication. So we are communication strategists. We design communication. This is what I do for a living. We design graphic advertisements. We shoot video ads. This is what we do. Life is interesting. We get to meet new people. We get to learn from them. We do Facebook advertising. We do social media advertising. This is what we do.
And how now, why can't you do that from home instead of going to the office?
No, I can do it from home, but you see that the building has restrictions and I can't have my clients coming over.
Oh, so
And
you,
clients are traveling from, they're traveling from 200 kilometers to see, to plan for the future because people are tense right now, Carla. They don't know where are they headed because, things are appearing bleak because there's no point being positive if you're not being rational right now. So being rational, it's going to take some time to get over the pandemic. It's not easy. By then, you need to stitch things together. You need to have your ends meeting because you need to pay bills. The bills are real.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you need to work, whether it's me or my client. A lot of it depends upon effective branding, effective communication, effective marketing. These products need to sell.
So, what kind of products do you do advertising for?
Anything, anything. You give me anything, I'll start advertising that. Right from wigs to eyelashes to nails to nail paint to bed sheets to clothes, whatever.
What do you like to do most when it comes to advertising?
See, apart from work, what I really enjoy is reading. I read a lot. I'm a voracious reader. So I read a lot. This really interests me rather than watching films or, surfing the internet because that's not somebody that I am. I would rather be alone, cozying up with a book, reading something sensible. Though I'm not a very fiction oriented person, so anything with a biography, anything to inspire you, or maybe I'm reading a lot of spiritual books these days. I'm reading a lot on past life regression, on the universal laws, on celestial forces, on paranormal forces. I've been reading a lot of this lately.
And what are you learning from your reading?
I'm earning a lot of knowledge because the company can help you pay bills, right? Because I have that army of knowledge workers who are extremely talented. So thanks to them, I can pay my bills. But books is what keeps you going, knowledge is what keeps you going. Today I'm talking to you, I'm having the honor to speak to Carla because, at least I'm read to an extent that I can hold a decent conversation with you. So books give you confidence, books give you an imaginative mind, they help you travel, you know, time travel back and forth and in the future and in the past, everywhere.
So, what is one of the places you have traveled to recently?
The last place that I traveled to with my parents was last December. We went to Singapore.
Oh, I'm talking about your reading.
Oh,
Where
are
have
you talking
you
about reading?
traveled? Yeah.
Uh, I've been reading about past life, many lives, many masters, same soul, many bodies. And it's beautiful, It talks about the journey of various people through past life regression. I don't know if you've read them, but it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. And it has so many lessons to be learned about soul pools and soulmates and twin flames and runners and chasers. And that entire world is beautiful.
I agree. How would you define a soul connection?
A soul connect is very simple. For example, I think I had a soul connect with my kitten.
With your kitchen?
Yes.
Kidding.
Yeah. With daffodil.
Okay.
Yes. Because, I've never felt very strongly with human beings. But with her, I could connect at all levels. So, with her going away, I've become more subdued. I've started staying more aloof. It's as if a very big part of me has been taken away, and it's been quite some time. It's been at least 10 years and she's gone. But Carla, at times you can't come to terms with the loss. It's not a human to human connect. A soul to soul connect can happen at various levels. It's possible that it happens between a human being and a animal. It's possible. So I believe that at a lot of levels, I've been like really devastated after she went away, and maybe she taught me a lot of life lessons. That is, not to be emotional dependent on people, or kittens, etc., etc. She taught me how to be strong. That life moves on with or without anybody. So there are a lot of soul lessons that can be exchanged with kittens as well. So I'm sure you'll be having some amazing experiences with Krishna to share also.
Can you give me an example of a really good experience you've had with your cat?
Of course, the point is that I've grown up in a very traditional Marwari family, a very traditional Hindu family. And they're shaped by their own beliefs. They're shaped by the belief that you should keep pets at bay, scientifically and rationally. Also, if you see, the hair of a kitten can interfere with your human structure, and it can cause you breathing disorder, etc., etc. But with Daffodil, there were times that we used to share food amongst us, and it was a beautiful bond. Like, I can tell you, she was 4 months old when I got her. So I've literally nursed her back to health, to life, because we are vegetarians. We never used to feed her fish. She was having food like a vegetarian, and the vet was quite concerned that the poor soul's gonna die someday because of malnutrition, because you can't be feeding her rice and milk and cheese. So there was a lot of energy exchange between us when you're genuinely happy with somebody. Yet it needn't be a life partner, it needn't be your parents. It can be a simple, tame, domesticated cat who sleeps next to you every night, and who you get up and you tenderly look after. You switch off the air condition because the cat is feeling cold. How your life starts changing, like you're nursing a baby, whether it's a human baby or it's a kitten. It really doesn't matter. It makes you more humane.
So, can you give me one example where you really felt you knew Daffodil and you knew what she was thinking?
Well, a lot of times that I felt that she thought that human beings are overrated. Why she, no, I'm seriously telling you, because
Oh, I
this,
know.
yeah, because this
Why
entire
do you
thing,
think she felt that?
a lot of times, because there were days that I was cross at her and I used to tell her, oh, shut up for some time. And there were days that I used to think, oh, she's my possession. So the day she actually left, to come to terms that she could leave me and go away to take care of herself, was a heavy blow that was dealt to me. Because I somehow got conditioned and fashioned by the sense that she needs me. She never needed me. She never needed me. I think I needed her.
What
So
made,
the dependency equilibrium was not all right. But as human beings, the ego takes over. That this mute animal who cannot even communicate is dependent on me for ration, for well being. But it's not the case.
how do you know that?
I know that because you feel certain things, you can't express it much. But there's something called an understanding. You grow to understand each other. You see two people who can't speak the same language. They grow to understand each other. There's a sense of understanding that pervades logic, that defies rationality. That's a soul connect, which defies boundaries. For me, that's a soul connect, something that forces you to transform yourself. A soul connect is not something that comes to you very easily, that basically nods like your shadow. A soul connect comes and rips you apart. It forces you to think beyond the box. It forces you to acknowledge mistakes that you've made. It forces you in various positive ways.
Okay, you feel that you had a soul connection with
Yes, of
Daffodil.
absolutely.
Can you give me a time where you felt she was telling you something and you responded with what you needed to do?
Like I told you, we get so deeply embroiled in the feeling that the cat cannot do without me. It's a time that a soul is telling you that you need to jolly well hang up your boots, because everything can go on without you. And I'm going to show you how I live and how you're going to pine for me, because you never really owned me. I was a free spirit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I want our audience to understand it clearly. Can you explain it to our audience?
Like what?
Give them an example when you knew that Daffodil, was deeply connected to you. It may have been when you found her. It may have been.
Carla, I'll tell you, it's not about explaining it to somebody. A soul connect cannot be explained. But I'm sure that people who understand soul connects will be able to gather, will be able to assimilate what I'm trying to tell them. Is that a soul connect is not easy. Today, when people say that I have a soul connect with my husband, I find it laughable, at many tangents. Because a soul connect doesn't develop between a spouse. Because a soul connect is not somebody who would be gay when you are gay and who would be grim when you are grim. A soul connect is far deeper, it's an entire emotional body which, it takes you by its whirlpool. So your soul connect is much deeper, but to actually talk about it would be getting into the nitty gritties of the entire mechanism. So we would do that some other day.
Now, with your friends, do you feel a soul connection with any of them?
Well, I have three friends, and the remaining are acquaintances. So, of course, with those three friends, I definitely feel very deeply, though I would not say that it's a soul connect. But I believe that we've shared some lifetimes together, because considering the bandwidth for which I know them, the number of years, which is tangible, that you can count them, it seems that I've known them for a fairly longer time. So it's not possible that I've known them in this lifetime. I must have known them over several lifetimes.
What is it that makes you feel that you are reconnecting this lifetime with someone you knew maybe your
Because
last?
it's so easy to communicate with them. There's no pretense, there's no plastic. You're just what you are. You can just tell somebody that, oh, shut up, I'm getting bored. But with an acquaintance, you are very calculative of what to say, how to communicate, how to phrase it, how to come across as a pleasant person. But with somebody that you really know, your soul knows that person, there's no pretense. You're just who you are in all your nudity, in all your rawness. You know exactly who you are and who this person is. It's not about the gender, it's not about the physicality. It's about the eyes. When you know somebody, you just know somebody. It's a very deep connect.
Okay. What else do you like to study?
Well, I study the animal kingdom. I study about the peculiarities of animals and about their psychology.
Okay, tell me about an animal psychology.
Well, you see, penguins are monogamous, foxes are monogamous, pigeons are monogamous. If you talk about the samba deer is a serial polygamous animal. So, you understand the psychology, you talk about the evolutionary intelligence of animals, how they evolve, because it's the survival of the fittest. So, when the female penguin has actually laid eggs, the male penguin sits and warms the eggs because the mother has to go in search of food. And the mother doesn't return before 60-65 days. So it's the father sitting and warming the eggs. And in case the eggs hatch before the mother comes back, the father can produce milk like substance to feed the newly hatched chicken. It's beautiful, the animal kingdom is fascinating. In case in the human level, we would have been talking about, father figures breastfeeding their babies, people would laugh here. See, the animal kingdom does not judge, it's not judgmental. Even if you look at the praying mantis, so when the praying mantis is trying to reproduce, the male praying mantis actually loses his head and eventually dies while copulating with the woman, because for him giving birth is a far greater reality, a far greater achievement than losing himself in that process. So the animal kingdom is fascinating. It teaches you how to let go, the beauty of death, how death can be immortal. So I find the animal kingdom far, far superior than human beings at very, very many pedestals. You look at ants, the way they have their teamwork is beautiful. You won't find that kind of a chemistry between human beings. It's not possible because we are rooted so much in our possessions. We're rooted so much in our ego. It's not possible for us, but the animal kingdom is beautiful. It's beautiful.
How have you had other animals besides daffodil in your life?
No, 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 no. I've borrowed examples from like my friend's pet or some stray dog that I feed on the road, but I'm quite accustomed to him. So I get to know about his behavioral patterns. But I've not had any more pets to myself.
How long have you been into animal communication?
No, I'm not into animal communication. I read up about animals because I find it widely fascinating. And I'm not into animal communication.
But yet you can tell what, um, sorry, the name of your daffodil make me thinking. Have you been able to connect with her since she left you?
I'm sorry, could you just repeat that for me, please?
Have you been able to connect with her since she left you?
No, I haven't. Though I try looking around when I see kittens that are thinking that, oh, she must have grown up to 10 years old now. But, there's no way of communicating or mental connection that I feel that I can establish with her. So I'm just trying to live in her memories and be happy about it. Because thinking of her gives me a sense of happiness. And I think that's what life is all about, being tranquil, being at peace, being happy.
How do you get yourself to peace?
Peace is a state of mind, Carla. You're doing this show right now, and we are talking, and you're very tired because, I can see that tiredness all over your face. So for you, peace is in
Sorry
these
about that.
moments. Yeah,
Go.
because you're tired. It's showing on your face that you're tired.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, you don't need to be sorry, Carla. You don't need to be sorry. Peace is in these moments that I can actually see you. in your honesty that you're tired and you're still having a conversation going on. This is peace. It stems from the very subject matter of being passionate about something or having to do something because you believe in a subject matter. So for me, also, India and Pakistan is a subject matter that I believe in. So for me, peace is India and Pakistan dropping their gun someday and saying, okay, fine, we've had enough. Though I'm sure that in my lifetime that day is not going to come, but I pray in future that better sense prevails.
Why didn't you believe it could come today or tomorrow?
It cannot,
You
because as
don't
long as
believe in it, it won't
no,
happen.
no, because as long as there's profit in war, that day will not dawn. The governments need to wake up and they need to understand that there's no sense to a war, but unfortunately, there's profit in war. So till that understanding actually dawns upon them, nothing's going to change. And I can't be in a fool's paradise. So you need to be rational in life.
So you don't think being irrational at times is not, do you, let me phrase it differently. Do you think being irrational is being a little crazy and everyone needs to be rational all the time?
Well, not all the time. There are times that you can do away with the mask and have a crazy dance. But of course, for mental sustainability, it's very important that you be rational in life. You can't be dysfunctional, living in a dysfunctional utopian world, a world that doesn't exist, because it just piles on more misery on you. It doesn't help you in any other way.
Why can't why can't we be in a peaceful world?
Yes, peace is in the mind. Like I told you, it's a state of mind. So, in case I feel there's nothing wrong between India and Pakistan in my own little bubble of oblivion, there isn't, because I interact with my Pakistani friends with a lot of ease, and we are at great terms. We love each other, but that's not what the reality of the world is. That's me in my bubble and they in their bubble, and life is beautiful. But when you go out and you see the real world, then that bubble bursts and nothing's left out of it, because you're defending hate messages, you're defending yourself against hate mongers, and it can take a mental toll on you. The kind of negativity that is thrown at you on your face, like vitriolic acid attacks, rape threats, it's not easy. When you're called a Muslim empathizer, you're called a Muslim, you're called a Pakistani spy, etc., etc. So it might sound very brave and adventurous, but it is not. It is not. So, it's going to take realistically a very, very long time before the second handed partition, the baggage of partition is forgotten. Because generation after generation, people keep handing the hatred. So, it's like a family heirloom. You feel very proud wearing it. People need to stop this consciously, and this can only come around with communication. So, effective communication is very important when you are talking to your next generation, that you're not meant to believe in the ideology of hatred, because hate mongering is not going to make you a hero. This war doesn't produce heroes. You need to be a peace ambassador. You need to have rationality. You need to have common sense. You need to safeguard your future. You need to safeguard the earth. There are more things in life than waging wars. I remember the famous poem by Wilfred Owen, which was The Pity of War. It was called A Strange Meeting, in which two soldiers meet and they discuss that there's pity of war, that there's no meaning in a war. They never wanted to kill each other. But you're meant to do that for the glory of war, for being a war hero, for being a martyr. So it's really sad. The reality is sad, Carla. The reality is sad.
There's always good and bad in all reality. How can you say reality is sad if you're also looking at the positive.
Yes, you're working towards a mission, but what you see is a bleak future right now. Like I told you, I cannot be in La La Land. I can't be daydreaming that everything is good and the sun is shining, because the sun is not shining. So maturity isn't accepting that the sun is not shining.
True.
So let us take this up tomorrow, Carla, during the India Pakistan session, because it's already 2 o'clock in the night, and I have an early day tomorrow.
Okay, let's talk about it there because this
Yeah.
isn't political. This is very open ended. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you,
time.
Carla.
And,
Before we leave, I'm going to take a picture with you.
well, you'll have the link. I'm going to send it to you.
Yes, you do that, but I'm going to take a picture with you because I find you very pretty.
Thank you so very much.
Here, you can smile for me. Thank you.
What kind of phone do you have?
Oh, I have an iPhone.
Oh, okay, because my iPhone has a
Oh,
different.
wow. Yes, that's, I don't know. That seems like a better model. I'm happy with my outdated model.
Okay. With that, I want to thank you for speaking with me, and I will send you the link.
Thank you.
And I want to thank those who watched for watching. And we're going to wave goodbye. Oh, don't forget this show was sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. And let's wave goodbye. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye. Thanks,
Good
Carla.
day.
Bye bye.
Bye.